time it is. It is Wednesday night. It is the Fallout show to take over Vengeance Day. And while we got a bit of a clearer picture about what we saw on Sunday night, I still ain't got no answers. I still don't know what's happening. Is it New Undisputed Era? Is it Cole on his own? Is it O'Reilly on his own? Make it make sense. Help me understand. But we're going to talk about it either way. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT Recap and Review. I'm going to talk about something that didn't really happen on the show real quick, but NXT, please stop announcing matches and then moving them to the next week of the show. You already did this with the Fight Pit. It did not need to happen again. Putting this match between Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar a week off is not going to make me more interested in the match. I don't know why they did it. If it was precaution or something, I don't know. But they need to stop doing that, please. Please and thank you. Got you. First up in the night, we do have Kyle O'Reilly as somber as physically possible, coming to the ring just wanting answers. You know, he's mad confused and still shocked about what happened at Vengeance Day, just getting kicked in the face by his brother, by his man's Adam Cole, and he's trying to recover. He's trying to make sense of everything, and he just wants answers. He wants to hear from Adam Cole what was the reason why you did this, why you kicked me in the face. And then out comes Roderick Strong, of all people, trying to remedy the situation, saying it was about emotion, and Adam Cole was just in his head, and O'Reilly is pissed. He's like, no, don't come out here with all that talk. I don't care. I don't want to hear it from you. I want to hear it from Cole. And so he doesn't still come out, and out comes the Finn Balor, the NXT champion, and he's looking for Kyle O'Reilly apparently because he stuck out his hand on Sunday and he got helped up, but then he got kicked in the face. Like, who can Finn Balor trust? Who can he trust anymore after a moment of weakness like that? And all of a sudden, him and Roddy just start jawing at it on the entrance ramp, and out of nowhere come the Brits, Danny Burch and Orny Lorcan, as well as Pete Dunne, and they come out and attack all three. That kind of leads to the 6-man tag match coming up later in the night, but that was just the opening segment. Still trying to get used to Kyle O'Reilly as kind of like a somber babyface talker. It was a little weird at times, a little stunted at times. His more aggressive stuff and like yelling was a little bit more, yeah, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see somber O'Reilly. That just doesn't work. But yeah, goes to the 6-man tag match. Not mad at it at all. Definitely could have been a bit better, just in terms of talking wise and entertainment wise, but can't hate it on it at all. Just moving on into the main event of the show. First match of the night, we do have The Way, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell against the team of Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. We see The Way coming out with just wanted posters. They're still looking for Austin Theory, who was kidnapped on Sunday by Dexter Lumis. Let that resonate in your head, ladies and gentlemen. He was kidnapped, y'all. But we do see the start of this match, really early picture-in-picture, just with the faces in control at the beginning. We come back, just utilizing those double team moves. Their chemistry, I've mentioned this so many times, but their chemistry is really come together. Like, they are like an actual tag team. But we just see Indy in the ropes, and she just gets kicked in the face by Ember Moon just on the outside. They fight a little bit more. We eventually do see a white van pull up. We don't see nobody get out of it. We don't see nobody in it. And we're just all confused. The Way are confused in the ring, as well as Candice is just like, what? And then Johnny's on commentary just with a blank stare. He eventually goes after the van and just to see what's up with that and what's the problem with it as we go into the commercial break. Back from break, we finally see Blackheart get into the match after Ember Moon was just worked over for a bit. She comes back with her lovely flurry of offense. We see Johnny Gargano in the video during the match of him finally coming up to the van and trying to figure out what's wrong. Like, who's in there? Austin, you in there, buddy? Where'd you go? We cut back to the match, and Shotzi and Ember are just trying to go at it. Ember does go for the Eclipse off the top rope, but it's just pushed off. She's pushed down and can't do nothing about it. And the end comes pretty much when Indy and Candice are going for their nice little elevated moonsault move that they pulled out in their last match with each other. And we finally see Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory up on the stage. You know, Austin is zip tied and his feet and hands are just binded and he's in his underwear, and I'm like, what is going on? Candice eventually goes up and just hugs him. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm glad you're back. And that leaves Indy in the ring to just get rolled up by Ember Moon for the 1, 2, 3 and the win for Shotzi and Ember. They don't really care too much about the fact that they lost. They're like, don't worry about it. But yeah, The Way just celebrates on the stage, and Shotzi and Ember in the ring to kind of finish the segment up. Nice little feel-good moment. I didn't really care for the match too much outside of that anyway. But yeah, feel-good moment for the way to be reunited, of course. Let me make something clear. Dexter Lumis is not a babyface. He kidnapped a man. Let us know. Oh my gosh, his character confuses me so freaking much. So much. But yeah, good moment for them to just come together. It wasn't really too much about the match. Didn't really care for the match that much. Just a rehashing of the match that they had last week a little bit. But Johnny Gargano and The Way continue to be entertaining, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So good stuff from The Way all around. Next up, we did have a short video package of Pat McAfee, of all people, who we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. He was just he was telling us we was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. He was telling us that we fell for it, and that we're bamboozled and we're fools. And he's right, because Adam Cole did turn his back, and he is a scumbag, and he sucks. And McAfee's right, and he's dearly missed. Please come back, please come back. Next up, we do have a match between Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff didn't get an entrance. I was like, I know y'all not doing this to my boy again. Y'all invested too much time. Do not make him a jobber again, please. But of course they didn't, as we see later on in the match. But early on in this match, Isaiah Swerve Scott with the aggressive nature, definitely. Just a couple big boots, a couple pump knees, and definitely a massively destructive backbreaker. It was looking really good, but Ruff was just using his speed all throughout this match to kind of avoid as much as he can, but he was getting ragdolled for a little bit by Swerve Scott. Didn't really last that long, didn't go the length of a commercial break or anything like that. Leon Ruff did win with a surprise crucifix bomb, kind of a la Johnny Gargano beating him for the North American Championship for the 1, 2, 3 and the win, as Scott was just pumping, trying to kick out. He was just pumping, but he ain't got the muscle, man. He ain't got the muscle. After the match, we see Scott smiling. He's like, okay, he got one on me. He got one on me. Yeah, that didn't last long. The handshake, and Scott takes him out, destroys him. He's like, hey, I want my opportunities too. I'm getting tired of men like you just getting my opportunities. Just smushes his face into the mat and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of get with this. You know, Scott's heel character, it's been coming out over the past couple weeks and months, and it's kindly come to full form here, especially with someone that he's bigger than. It's definitely something that can work, as he's just more imposing than he can be to Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed, that's a thick boy, you know. So yeah, definitely glad that he kind of did this to Leon Ruff, and now they can have a small little feud and see where they kind of go from there, and just developing his heel character a little bit more. But definitely didn't hate on it at all. It's just a really short and okay match, honestly, but good heel work by Isaiah Swerve Scott. Next up, we do have a tag team match between the Robert Stonebrand, Aaliyah, and Jessie Kamea against the KCs, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter. This is pretty short stuff. It didn't really last that long. And we see the KCs kind of in control at the beginning, then all of a sudden Boa, just dark, mysterious, and brooding, just standing over on the stage with the shades on. He has done nothing at all, ladies and gentlemen. He's done nothing since they've been back. But yeah, that allows Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea to kind of take control with some nice offense. But after that, wasn't really a contest. So we see a nice little neck breaker splash combo from the KCs for the 1, 2, 3 and the win. And then all of a sudden, Xia Li shows up as well, and they come down to confront them. Casey Catanzaro, she walks up to her, he's like, Kaden, I got this. You know what, girl, this ain't you. You know, we your homies, we trying to help you. Who did this to you? Let me help you. And Xia Li's not having it. She grabs her like this, and then just draws like 2 lines on her arm. It's like, next week, I will purge you. And I'm like, purge? Bro. Casey about to get this work. Oh my gosh, she's about to get destroyed, y'all. She really is. I'm looking forward to that a lot. This is definitely a step up. I don't want no nonsense from Xia Li at all. Don't look hesitant. Don't look nothing. Just be ready. Be ready for Xia Li, y'all. Come on now. Yeah, what she did, awesome stuff. Kind of a forgettable match just from those 2 or those 4, so I'm not really worried about that. But the post-match stuff, yeah, I'm looking forward to Casey in just a high-flying action against Xia Li, just like determination, and I will kick your head off. That's what it seems like to me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Next up, we do have the presentation of the Dusty Cup for both teams that won their tournaments on Sunday at Vengeance Day. MSK, and then on the women's side, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. Beth is here to kind of introduce the whole thing. She brings out MSK first, and they are having the time of their life. They're so intrigued by the trophy and everything like that. They're so excited. And then we find out for both teams, actually, but we find out for MSK first that they'll be getting their NXT Tag Team title shot 2 weeks from now on March 3rd against the Brits, Danny Burch and Oni Lorcan. So looking forward to that match, as well as the next match that we're going to talk about coming up in 2 weeks as well. They eventually bring out the women's winners, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez, and they're talking about how happy they were in their history making and they're the first and all that. And then all of a sudden, the women's tag team champions, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, both make their return to NXT. They come down and they're just talking all this trash. They're bringing up the history that they have kind of with Dakota Kai. Like, hey, this is just a little scared little girl still. You know, she's still small. She can't step up to me. And Dakota's like, hey, bro, I ain't the same no more. I kick your head off. like don't play around with me. I ain't the same girl from 3 years ago. And she right, because I would love to see them kind of go at it in just a one-on-one match. That's what I thought they were kind of leading to. But then we got a nice little other wrinkle with Raquel and Nia just being the baddest, girl in the building. You know what it is. And they was just talking at each other and stuff like that. And we got a whole joke. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it at all. I don't really care for it. But it felt forced, honestly. You see WWE, they get something and they play it up. I'm not a fan of it. But Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai just looked mad confident. They got that match in 2 weeks and they built up that factor. Like, hey, we're going to take these titles from y'all. Like, Raquel Gonzalez definitely become a more solid talker. I think she's definitely grown into her own. She's become a star. She's definitely built that aura up for her, where I definitely think, like, hey, she is the monster between, like, her and Nia Jax. She's like that woman. She's the baddest one in the building. So I'm definitely glad that they're just playing on both of those feuds, the kind of individual stuff between Shayna and Dakota and Nia and Raquel as well. And through all this, we see MSK and Beth in the corner just eating popcorn and stuff like that. It got a chuckle out of me. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, looking forward to both of those matches in the next 2 weeks. This is a nice little segment to kind of build heat for the women's match, and I'm guessing we'll eventually see MSK do the same thing with the Brits later on. So can't hate on this at all. This is actually pretty fun stuff to watch and pretty intriguing as well. So I can't wait for March 3rd. Next up, we do have a match that was teased earlier on in the show. We got Kushida versus Tyler Rust. Pretty good technical start from these two men and just throughout the match in general. This is kind of both of their calling cards, so this is what they do, just a submission and just technical style. And we even see one spot at the beginning of the match where Kushida's just trapped in an arm lock behind him, and he just like steps through the middle rope and then steps through the bottom rope to kind of trap that arm of Tyler Rust in the rope and then just kick it. Like, he still finds creative ways to just attack that arm, and I am in awe of it every time. But eventually, just going into the commercial break, he tries to go for a top rope move and is just pushed off by Tyler Rust, and he continues to attack the arm of Kushida and just sends him out the ring going into the commercial break. We come back from break, and pretty much the second half of this match, we see Kushida continuing to come back with those explosive attacks and just working on that arm as well, Tyler Rust. But Rust is not going away. He's definitely using his feet with those lethal kicks to the back of the net and also submission offense as well to try to just get the upper hand as well. But we do see the end of this match. Rust has Kushida in a fireman's carry, about to go for a move, but Kushida's like, no way. He wrangles him pretty much, and he gets on that hoverboard lock. And before even Tyler Rust can tap, we do see Malcolm Bivens get up on the top rope like, hey, he's done. Let's get out of here. So the ref calls for the bell, and that's it. I guess I don't know what to call it, like ref stoppage or throwing the towel. I don't know. But the match is over. Kushida won. We hear Bivens afterwards like, hey, you're my star. Like, you're my prize. I'm not going to let you get injured. I got to keep you safe. I got to protect my client. And I'm like, that's good managing. Like, he is one of the best managers in the world. Like, this is what he does. So just keeping the client safe. Good on you, Malcolm Bivens. But definitely a good win for Kushida. Definitely continue to show what Tyler Rust can do in the ring. I don't know what their really plan is for him as of yet. Hopefully the stuff with Bivens does lead to something. But good work from all three guys around, and definitely looking forward to see what Kushida does later on if he's not done with Gargano, and what Tyler Rust goes on to hopefully later on in the future. Hopefully it's something. But yeah, just good work from all three men all around. Next up, we do have the debut of Zoe Stark, formerly known as Lacey Ryan, on the indie scene, that she faced off against Valentina and it didn't last long. Pretty much it's a showcase of Zoe Stark in the ring, and she wins with the nice little finisher, kind of a GTS without like the fireman's carry. It looked really nice, really nice. Like, the finisher was fire. Not that her debut wasn't impressive, but she didn't really intrigue me in any way or make me want to watch her again. Hopefully that will come with character development and just more matches in in the next couple of weeks. But just fine stuff. I'm not really mad at it or anything. Just hoping that she would intrigue me a little bit more to want to know more about her, what's kind of making her tick and what's kind of her character. So looking forward to that in the next couple of weeks. But fine match stuff here and nice finisher. Yeah, keep that finisher. That joke's fire. And last up, we do have our main event of the evening, the 6-man tag match. We got the Brits, Danny Burch, Oney Lorcan, and Pete Dunne against Finn Balor, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle is in the start with Oney Lorcan, and even in the entrance to the ring and at the beginning of the match, he just refuses to acknowledge Roderick Strong, refuses to tag him in, to do the usual Undisputed Era stuff during the entrance, and he's basically just tagging in Finn Balor throughout the extent of this first period of the match. Like, he's not looking Roderick Strong's way. Roderick Strong does eventually tag in when he gets the chance, and he's kind of worked over by the Brits as well, eventually just pushed into those steel steps. He eventually gets Kyle O'Reilly back in as well, and he comes in just with the dragon screw leg whips and the physicality. He leaps off of the apron and just gets clocked in the jaw, like by that elbow from Pete Dunne as we go into picture-in-picture for that commercial break. Back from break, and we see Finn Balor get that tag in, and he's coming in like a man possessed, boy. Just double stomp, drop kicks, the whole nine, just killing all three men involved. And we see him and Pete Dunne kind of resume hostilities stemming from this past Sunday, of course, as well. They both block each other's finishers, but we see Finn Balor eventually get that sling blade, and then everything breaks down from there. We see him go for that drop kick in the corner on Dunne, but as the ref is dealing with Danny Burch, who tries to bring one of the titles into the ring, ref bump, he's just knocked out. Finn Balor still goes for the coup de grace, but out of nowhere comes Adam Cole and just pushes him off into another ref bump, so the ref is just taken out, and we see Adam Cole just kind of fixes his stare on Kyle O'Reilly outside the ring. Pump kick, and then he hits him with a brainbuster on the steel steps on the outside to effectively take him out, and he just leaves, and then he just dips, doesn't touch Roddy, doesn't do anything like that, and just dips. We do see back in the action in the ring, eventually Finn Balor accidentally Pele kicks Roddy Strong in the face just because he thought he was a member of the other team. That eventually allows Pete Dunne to hit that bitter end for the 1-2-3 on Finn Balor. Pete Dunne has pinned the NXT champion, y'all. That's very confusing, but we're gonna let it slide. Yeah, after the match, as everything is just kind of chaos and the Brits leave, Adam Cole comes back for another super kick on Finn Balor to just kind of take everybody out as he is, and he grabs the NXT title and poses with it, and he stands tall again with that NXT title. And that was the close of the show, as medical attention is coming for Kyle O'Reilly and stuff like that to help him out. Really interesting way to end the show. We didn't really get any answers from Adam Cole, just more so action. He still took out Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. We don't kind of know what his allegiance is with Roderick Strong as of yet. Didn't touch him, didn't interact with him in any way on the show. I assume that Roddy will eventually turn to the dark side as well. But yeah, just interesting way to go after ending this show. I was definitely looking for more answers from Adam Cole, but I'm definitely okay with this for now. We now know his intentions are to get back that NXT title, and apparently Kyle O'Reilly was in the way of that, unfortunately. That's why he super kicked him in the face, but we'll get more explanation on that in the coming weeks and months, hopefully, as well. But yeah, just a nice match, really solid match just from all 6 men involved, and just a nice little angle to end the show, of course, for this week of NXT. And that's going to do it for this week of NXT. A really interesting show all around. Definitely not the Fallout 2 Vengeance Day that I really saw coming. Definitely expected more of a more newsworthy show, I would think. But definitely still solid action all around. Kushida and Tyler Rust match was pretty phenomenal, as well as the main event, as was the opening match as well, even though it was kind of distracting from the Johnny Gargano and the Austin Theory stuff as well. But just a good match from the 4 women involved in there as well. I don't know why they took Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar off the show. I don't know. We gonna get it next week for a match that I don't care about. I'm caring a lot about this, so like, please just have the match next week. But all in all, still solid show from NXT. Just moving forward after Vengeance Day. Looking forward to see what they do next week. But that is gonna be it from your boy. Another NXT recap in the bag. Like, share, subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your grandfather. Please tell grandpa, tell him about us, please. Leave any prayer requests or anything like that y'all might have. We love to just keep in contact with you and get to know you, of course. That's gonna be it for me. I'm out. Peace. Everybody stay safe out there. You know, happy President's Day. It passed already, but you know, we all good and all that. We don't care about the presidents, though. We don't. Not at all. Y'all take it easy.